Yeah, probably a tale of two halves. I thought that the first half was handled very unprofessionally by us. That's the players, that's the staff, that's everybody. We just weren't ourselves. It has nothing to do with people say fatigue and tired. It just had to do with executing passes. Uh, credit to Colorado. They came out, they scored the goal, and kind of maybe stunned us a bit. I think there was a moment where, you haven't conceded in 4 games. It was a little bit of a letdown. From there, we turned into a bunch of individuals, which is not what we're about. Everybody trying to make the final play. Guys kind of throwing their hands up at each other, not together. Mistakes were happening. Guys were getting on each other. So unacceptable first half. I'll take the blame for that. But a response in the second half looked more like us. Again, doing the simple things, getting the ball, giving it to the next guy, moving for each other, fighting for each other. I thought that in a tough spot, Giuliano comes in and gives us a great game. I thought he was excellent on the night, getting forward, connecting his passes, brought high energy in his first start in his debut. So that's a positive. Obviously, Harris's goal was a special one. You need these kind of wins, these gritty kind of wins against a tough Colorado team that sat in and defended really well. And you're standing on the sidelines and you start to think maybe it's a night where Timmy Howard, bails them out and nothing's going to beat them on the night. But, we got the PK and then we got the crowd behind us. The crowd was excellent for us, pushed us on, and I thought that we deserved the 3 points. You look at the statistics, all the passes that we connected. Obviously, we'd like to create more chances than we did. But again, tale of two halves, a very disappointing first half. I was upset, with the performance. We laid into them a little bit at halftime, and we did get a little bit of a response. Again, I have to say the reserves that come into the game are really, really pushing and making decisions for us hard because everyone's coming into the game and making an impact. So that's a positive. Good winning streak now, something to build on, but we look forward now to difficult match at Rio Tinto in Salt Lake.
Start with Matt here on the floor. Jim, you've had some tough first halves at home this year. Was the response today any different based on some of the confidence you guys have built up on this streak?
I think we've had a good first half. What other first half was bad? Name one.
You probably weren't happy at Toronto after that first half.
That was a good half. That was one of our best halves of soccer. Our first halves are good usually. This was a terrible one.
Does the response at halftime change at all? You guys don't get dragged down after being down at half at home against a team that maybe.
Yeah, we played bad in the first half in Orlando. We played bad in the first half tonight. I would say that was our worst half of soccer. So that part is true. But to say that we played bad at home a lot, I don't agree with that in the first half.
But did the response at all change?
Yeah, the response. The response is the response. We scored 2 goals. They scored 1, so we walk out with a win. So that part is good. I'm not being a jerk. I'm just correcting you because we haven't played bad in the first half yet at home. Again, the response was a good one. It's the players that played better in the second half, and they deserve the credit. Again, first half was sloppy. We just were loose with passes, and again, I don't care about mistakes. Ernie doesn't care about mistakes. We'll never get upset with that. We want maximum effort. We want maximum pressure to the ball, and we want guys that don't throw their hands up at each other. And that's what you saw a lot of in the first half. That's why I was disappointed.
Go with Mark in front row.
Jim, could you update us on Fabian? What happened to him?
Herbers cut the ball on the one where he sets up Ilsinho, and hurt his I think it's a groin or hip flexor / area. Not good. Obviously, not a good injury to take. It was an opportunity for him, and now it's unfortunately it's gone. He'll be probably miss some time, and that's unfortunate. Injuries are part of the game. We'll have the next guy step up, but yeah, it's a disappointing one for Fabian. Obviously, to get a chance to start because he had been so good in training, had been good off the bench, and then to didn't have the greatest start to the game as well, and then have an injury kind of compounded it. That's tough.
We'll go to Joe here on the floor, here on the right.
Jim, when you do have this 3 games in a short span, what went through not making too many changes to the 11?
Yeah, we're a fit team. We have guys that work their tail off in preseason. They work as hard as anyone in training, the 2-a-days. This is the reason why we do it. And and again, I credit Ernie for getting that and having that in our culture now. And so our guys, this is what they expect. And to say that it's impossible to play 3 games in the week, I don't think it is. And the data shows if you rest 4 more starters in this league, you are going to lose, and that's just the way it is. Again, there's maybe Toronto got away with a couple results, but the percentages are not in your favor if you're going to go 4 and 5 changes to a roster. Do we have a deep team? Absolutely, but the continuity on the field can't be tweaked and adjusted that much. And you're going to expect the same output and results. So our guys work hard in training. They're able to handle it. Even with resting Chris and Fabi, they both could have played tonight, I think. But at the same time, when we looked at the data, how much they ran in that last 90 minutes, Fabi's played every minute of the year. More of maybe a mental break for him. And Giuliano's been excellent in training. So I needed to give him a shot, and he more than answered the bell. So that's a really good thing that happened tonight. Again, the Fabian one and Pontius is unfortunate because that was a chance for Fabian to play a bunch of minutes, and it didn't happen that way. So we had to make the early sub.
We'll go Matt here on the floor.
You kind of just answered the question already, but with Giuliano in and out of, what about his performance tonight really inspired you, and could we see him in the starting 11 in the near future?
So Giuliano, it's the same thing we've seen in training. I see it every day in training. He's really raised, I would say, in the past probably 3 to 4 weeks, the intensity at which he is dialed in and competing each and every day. His talent is unbelievable. He is very good with the ball, great left foot, physically can run, jump, win his physical battles. That part is excellent. And now he's pieced together the game's in Bethlehem. It's a tricky one, and he's been unfortunate, and he's been the odd man out because to carry 2 left backs is a unique one. Even in a situation like tonight, I wouldn't use Fabi as a reserve as a left back because he can't. If someone goes down on the right, we can't adjust. Whereas Gaddis has played on the left, so a lot of variables go into it. So he's been unfortunate not to be in 18s, but I give the kid a heck of a lot of credit because he stuck with it. He pushed himself in training each and every day, and he went out on the field and was one of our best players tonight. So the talent is there, and he really showed that fight and commitment in his 1v1 duels tonight. I thought he was outstanding.
We'll go over here on the floor.
You had mentioned that when Colorado scored and decided to sit in and kind
Yeah.
of defend the middle there, kind of made things a little difficult. And think back a couple of weeks, does winning sort of breed winning in that maybe this result isn't possible when you're stuck in that winless streak, but now all of a sudden it just seems like it's second nature?
Yeah, well, confidence is a heck of a thing. If you could bottle it up and sell it, you would make a heck of a lot of money. And you see a group now that previously, if we gave up a goal, we might lay down. We might panic. I don't think we handled it perfectly, but we did push the game in the second half. Colorado had a ton of guys behind the ball, and it was all centrally. We talked at halftime about getting the ball wide, getting Ray and Giuliano forward into those spots, and not necessarily to cross balls, but to get to the end line and then swing balls across the top of the 18 to make their center backs move. And I thought Ilsinho was also busy on the night with little 1-2s that kind of opened them up. So, overall, the psyche of the team, I think if you talk about the word culture, it gets thrown around all the time now in sports. You don't learn a lot about a team or a club's culture when you're in a winning streak. Everybody's happy, just like any job in the world. When you go to work and everything's successful and everything's going great and it's easy, you don't learn anything new. We learned a lot in the hardest time, and when people do talk about culture, I would point to the fact that Ernie kept us together, the players stayed together, and that's really what culture is about. In the hardest times, who are the guys that bail out? And nobody did. So here we are. Tonight would be another microcosm of that. Pretty darn bad first half, but they stuck together because they have a belief now. They have a little more confidence, and then you get a break. You get a PK call maybe in your favor, and Harris makes a special play, and we walk out 2-1, and no one will talk about how ugly this win is in 3 months, but it's 3 points at this point.
We've got 2 more questions. Emmett, second row on the left.
You had a chance to talk to Andre at halftime. Was it a case of him maybe not seeing the ball or just not getting set?
So I haven't seen the replay, but it looks like one of those ones where the defender's backpedaling, so maybe there's a little bit of a screen, and he shoots it maybe earlier than everybody expects, almost in like a half stride, It doesn't look like it gets to the corner. Our goalkeeping coach and our goalkeeper are very hard on themselves, so I haven't seen it yet, but I'd imagine they'll say we could have probably done better. But it starts as a team. We lost the ball in a bad spot. A simple clearance, they flick it, and all of a sudden it's a fire drill. That's not what we're about, and it wasn't a good goal to concede. Disappointing to end the shutout streak, but it was going to end at some point, and now it's kind of in the past. Happy to get 3 points though.
Last one, we'll go Mike, front row.
Not often you see a player yellow carded twice in the same minute. Was there an explanation on that second one, and were you happy with the way the guys played against the 10 men?
I thought, yeah. Well, first to the second yellow, and the yellows in that quick a succession. I'm sure that's in the referee's mind that they probably just had something verbal was said, and he was upset, and then you compound it by re-entering the field. I haven't ever seen that, to be honest, where you re-enter the field from like a sneak attack behind the goal, and you knew something was wrong with it when you saw it just by the eyeball test, and indeed it is laws of the game. That is a violation. So quick red card, and obviously. It'd be nice to get the third goal. We had chances to get the third goal for sure, but I think the composure that we showed with the ball to make them really chase. I think you've seen us foul that up in the past, whereas we stayed a little bit more composed. Even I'd say we were better in this game than Houston, where we were in the second half just kind of sat back and would win it and then fly forward and lose it again. This one we were a little more composed, made them run. Helps to be up a man though.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, thank you.
Locker room.